What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is Love After Lockup season. I don't even know what season we are in, child. Season 3, episode 38. So, Stan and Lisa. Stan has showed up to pick Lisa up from jail, and yes, Lisa looks like a whole stud, okay? Short hair, spiked hair. Of course, she's got that whole COVID thing. She says she didn't gain weight. She's got the baggy clothes. And listen, let me tell y'all something. Don't none of y'all feel sorry for Stan. Stan knows exactly what he's doing, and he knows exactly what he's dealing with. This situation is purely transactional, okay? That is not love. That is not, I want you to be my future wife. That is, I am kinky as hell, and you know what I like, and you know how to service me, and so I'm going to take care of you, and you take care of me. But here's where Stan ain't no fool. Stan said, I'm not taking care of your whole family. Like, I'm going to take care of you. As long as you do what I need you to do, and you give me what I need you to give me, I'll take care of you. But what I won't be doing is taking care of your whole family. So they get there, and he's got this Mustang. And first thing out of her mouth is, ooh, when do I get to drive the car? And she asked him that a couple of more times. I said, see, y'all know what the dealio is. Then he, gives her the wigs, and, she talking about which wig she like and what wig she don't like. And she's talking about, she said, listen, every time I got a whole lot of felonies, and every time I went to jail in the past, I had ill intentions. I was not here with the mindset that I was gonna do better. I was out long enough to run my next con. But with Stan, it's different. Yeah, because Stan is the con. Stan is the con. So yeah, I guess it is a little different with Stan. Okay. Then then we have, they're in the car, and her son calls her. She said that, she doesn't have the best relationship with her oldest child because she was out, too busy getting in trouble, in and out of jail, whatever the situation is. And Stan starts making these smart ass comments about, don't worry about your son, and wouldn't your life be better if you didn't have to worry about your family and it was just me and you? I said, see, that's where you're gonna fuck up, Stan. Now, you may not want to financially take care of her family, but what you can't do is discount and disregard her family, especially her son. Ooh. But yeah, I peeped that whole situation. I was like, listen, y'all, don't even get y'all feelings hurt. Don't even get worked up. Don't even get caught up in that whole situation. Okay. Anyway, like I said, both of them know what it is. So then we have Ray and Brittany. So they bring Ray down to the bus station where they supposed to meet, and they take Ray off the transit, and then they put him back on it, and then they go back to jail. So of course they're sitting there, they're confused, they don't know what's going on, and Brittany is like, well, I just want to follow. Can we just follow follow the van, see where they taking him? So they end up going back to the jail, and I don't know what it is. I still didn't get a clear understanding of what had happened, but neither here nor there. Here come Ray. Listen, Brittany said, I'm gonna make sure. Is it Brittany, Brianna, BB? I'm gonna make sure that he kisses me first. Baby, she jumped her ass out that van and ran to him. I said, Grandma sitting in the van talking about something. She kissed him. So we get a little bit more of Ray's story. We found out that Ray's parents were together, then they broke up. He lived with his mama. But when he was, I think he said when he was 9 years old, his mother was murdered. She was shot 5 times in the chest and left in a van dead, And he said that, that pretty much changed him, and that made him act out, made him want to get in trouble and take his anger out. He said it probably wasn't the best use of his energy, but that's what he did. And, he talked about that he got hooked on drugs. And so, basically he was stealing drugs to support his habit, because he sounded like he was on, pills. So he was stealing drugs to support his habit and selling the rest, or vice versa, selling what he could sell and then taking the rest. And he's not happy about it. He's a little ashamed. You could tell by the way he was talking. He's not what I thought. I thought Ray was gonna have a whole lot of bravado and be all like, yeah. But he seemed very, very meek, very shy. So, so I'm assuming that the woman that she's saying his mom is his stepmom. And, so anyway, we got that story. So then, in the car, they have to get him to the halfway house. So y'all know how they do every season when somebody get out and got to get to the halfway house. They make a big deal about them getting there on time. Oh my goodness, if we don't get here on time, he's going to violate and he'll have to go back. Child, whatever, bye. He alright. He got there on time. And he even said that he wished that he could have spent some time with Brittany alone, Brianna, whatever the girl name is, alone. But, of course, his family insisted on coming to pick him up. So, he got it. He said, but we'll have time. We'll have time. But I was just like, girl, you look a hot mess. When she got her ass out that van and ran to him, I said, girl, you need to stop. Like, you really acting like these people don't have a right to want to see him and spend time with him. Anyway, Rachel and Doug. Now let me say this. I got a little bit of a different perspective on Doug. Now that Doug is out and he ain't behind, that bravado on the phone in jail, his attitude was a little different, right? He finally got her to that damn hotel room, child. Now he's 6 foot whatever and she 4 foot whatever. But listen, I guess horizontal, we all the same height, I guess. So, of course, they got to the hotel and they did what they do, child. And, of course, he got to be back at the house by 5 o'clock. Now, see, all that shit he was talking about, that's messed up. I got to give me a different parole officer. I got to do this, I got to do that. Because she this and she that. I ain't trying to be. Child, his whole attitude was different. Talking about, so, well, I mean, we just got to do what we got to do. I got to follow the rules. I mean, it could be worse. I mean, I could still be locked up. I mean, it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. And, if that's what the rules are, then that's what the rules are. I said, that's what your ass should have said to begin with. Then he gave us a little more history. He said, listen, I grew up in a rough situation, in a rough life, and I was the youngest, and if I wanted something I had to go out and get it. So I got involved early on. I was doing bad things and I was making bad decisions, and I was in a lot of trouble. And he said that he conceived his son before he went to jail the first time. And so he said when he got out of jail the second time, he was like, I only had 40 days with my son. So I only had 40 days to be a dad. And then I was right back in jail. And so he was like, I really, really want to make this work. Like, I really, I don't want to F this up. And so when he got to, the house and he saw how nice the house was, he was like, man, I ain't never stayed nowhere like this before. He was like, the only time I was ever in a house like this is to rob it. He said, I would be a fool to fuck this up. He said, she is a good woman and I got me a good situation and I love her. And my son is in a good situation. So not only do I have to make sure that I don't fuck this up, I need to make sure that he understands that we ain't gonna mess this up. Because then we'll both be back where we were. He was, what he say? I forgot how he worded it, but basically he was like going through the trash on Saturday to have gas money on Sunday. He was like, so nah, we ain't messing this up. So his whole attitude done changed a little bit. He sounded a whole little meek and mild. I was like, okay, that's different. Okay. So then we have Anissa and what's his name? Child, it don't even matter. Jeffrey, Anissa and Jeff, I think. Listen, this is a new couple. Let me tell y'all something. So Anissa is an older woman. She says she's always like old, younger men. She says she married her first husband. He was 19. She was 29. I think Anissa borderline pedophile because that's a little too close for comfort, as far as I'm concerned. You 29 years old and you date and married a 19-year-old. Then she had the nerve to say, well, I mean, he just wasn't, ready to settle down. I guess the fuck he won't. He was 19. She was with her friend. They're looking for wedding gals because Jeffrey is getting ready to get out of jail. Now, her and Jeffrey have been corresponding for 11 years. I believe it is. And if I'm wrong about that, y'all put it in the comments. But it's been a long ass time. Now, Jeffrey has been out of jail on 2 other occasions where him and Anissa made all these wonderful plans that they was going to be together and they was going to get married and everything was going to be everything. And he stood her up both times. I'm just letting that part sink in. He has gotten out of jail twice before and he stood her up both times. He was supposed to come to the house. They made plans for him to be with her and them to live together and this, and this, and he ain't show up either time. Now this time, he's going to show up. For real, he's going to show up. And she done bought a wedding gown and she's ready to get married. Now, we see her with her friend shopping for dresses, and of course her friend is trying to talk her out of it. Then we see her with her other friend, and he is telling her point blank, you are a fool. He was like, you a new kind of fool. He said, first of all, he said, is this man even real? Because I've never been around, like for all these years that y'all been together, I ain't never been around when he called. Has anybody been around when he's called? And she said, well, I think Angel was here one time. Angel is the other friend that went with her to the bridal shop. She's going to say, well, he's in solitary confinement a lot, so that's why I don't talk to him as much as, and she even said, as much as I should. Girl, listen. This is what I feel like is happening with Miss Anissa. I feel like Anissa is the jailhouse pen pal, and I feel like she is writing one person until it's time for him to get out of jail, and then they pass her name and address on to the next person. I don't believe that this person is real. I need to see him. I'm going to have to actually physically see this person. I'm with her friend. She being catfished. I don't believe that this Jeffrey exists. I believe Jeffrey is everybody. I'm every woman. He is every inmate. Okay? I don't believe it. I feel like Anissa is being taken for a whole fool and a half. Now, that is my opinion. Okay? I don't know whether I am right or wrong, whether it is true or not. But that is my opinion. Okay? Deontay and Lisa. Is it Lisa? Is the girl named Lisa? Nicole. See, I was going to make up a whole name. Deontay and Nicole. Listen. Speaking of new kind of fools. So, Nicole is at her mama's house. Now, her mama hair is pink. So, I guess her mother is either a hairdresser or she likes, to dye her hair. So, she knows how to mix up. Because she wasn't using no kit. Like, she was actually mixing up the powder and all that to make the right color coordination to get her this blonde hair she want, okay? Now they're talking, and she's telling her mom, because she said, listen, I went to jail. My mama was married to a man. I got out of jail. My mama was married to a woman who was her best friend. So she went from being auntie to mommy. Like, I don't know how I feel about it, but if she's happy, then it is what it is. But okay, that was a little bit of adjustment. And they get to talking about Deontay, and her mother tells her basically, listen, don't play games. If you don't want to be with him, then don't be with him. If you like him and you love him, and that's cool. But if you don't want this man, don't play games with him. And she was like, I like him and everything, but, I'm not ready to settle down. Like, I still talk to my ex-boyfriend, and, I'm still open to dating other people, but I do like him. It's not that I don't like him, but I ain't trying to make the type of commitment he's ready to make. Now, but she said, now in her defense, she said she's tried to talk to him, but he don't really listen. And honestly, I'm starting to see examples of how he'll take one thing and he'll go all the way left with it when that ain't. We're gonna get to that in a second. So he said he on his way to go pick her up so that they can go back to his house, because he's still trying to get him a piece. Okay, he ain't saying nothing about taking her on a date. He want to get her back to the house, honey, because he is still trying to get him a piece. Now, he shows up, and when he shows up, she still got the dye in her hair. So she was like, listen, I gotta go wash this stuff out my hair before my hair fall out. Y'all be nice. Now, Deontay act like he nervous. Mama is giving him the side eye, but I don't feel like Mama is giving him the side eye like she don't like him or nothing. I feel like she just giving him the side eye like, of all the women in the world that you could be with, why you want my felon ass daughter? Like, But here's where I got real irritated. He gonna tell this woman that he has a sex doll, that he's been committed and he's been faithful to Nicole because he has a sex doll that he uses instead of cheating on her, and that he has named the sex doll Nicole Jr. In what world is that ever something you would tell somebody's parent? In what world is that ever something you would tell somebody's parent? And she said, now, that's a little crazy, don't you think? Like, really? Like, come on. Like, come on. And he was like, yeah, I guess it is. So then he goes on to let the mama know, well, we're engaged. Now, mind you, mama just had a whole conversation with Nicole about how she's talking to her ex-boyfriend and she's still into her ex-boyfriend. And now this man talking about something they engaged. So mama goes back there and says, y'all engaged? And she was like, we are not engaged. So she gonna go out to Deontay and was like, why would you tell my mama we engaged? We are not engaged. He said, well, I mean, I gave you the ring and I told you I'm giving you a ring. We might as well go ahead and get married now. She was like, yeah, and what did I tell you? I told you that I wanted a real ring, because she asked him to bring him, a little costume jewelry ring that she could flaunt around jail with. And until you get down on one knee and I get the full proposal, I am not engaged to anybody. He was like, I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess you're right. So, but I tell you, hear what you want to hear. That's what I'm getting now. Because you didn't even argue with her. You were like, oh, yeah, I guess that is what you said. But because you thought you gave this woman a ring, you thought that was it, that was all, and y'all was going to be married, and life was going to be, boy, bye. I said, Deontay, something wrong with him. Y'all, it's something wrong with him. It's something wrong with him. And listen, Lisa mama even said, I think Lisa liked things more than she liked the idea of a relationship. So your mama even know what your situation is. She know what the dealio is. Listen, we'll see what it is this week. Y'all let me know what y'all think, child. Drop it in them comments. Peace.